Alright, so this is Mirage, similar deal. This is far from the only way or the correct way to play Mirage. This is just a set of guidelines for your T side and CT side default. So the T side, again, it's a little more important to take mid control early, I would say, and to hold for pushes. So that means that two guys are probably going to want to take mid, and then everything else you're just watching a push. So the Pals guy, you can watch a push from back here, and you don't want to be too up close again because there may be pistols, there may be multiple players, there may be pop flashes that are going to come in. So you can kind of hold from back here, and if you see a flash coming, just dip in like that, or if you get a pop flash, like it just explodes right here from stairs or something, you can kind of just hug this wall, and then once the flash wears off, look around. Same deal. I personally like sitting on this couch thing over here, right over here. It's very easy to dodge flashes. A lot of times it'll explode just between you and this pillar will be between you and the flash, so you won't really be blind. Um, I've seen, I think TQM sometimes they'll have a guy hold up here like Kerrigan or something. For anyone who wants to walk push in, it's very uncommon to check this. You're really scared of that, this, and then you're gonna be like this and you get shot. So that's the palace guy. Just hold here, hold for a push. Look, tell your team if you hear smokes, flashes, guy coming up the ladder. If they're run pushing ramp. This guy that's watching the ramp push, you definitely want to stay out of this whole area for two reasons. One, it's common for ops to try to pick down here. They'll definitely chuck nades in here, HE nades. It sucks when you're just up here like this and you get naded down to 50. Also, they'll often throw flashes right over, so even though you're down here, you'll still be blinded a bit, and they might push you for early info with two guys or something like that. It's just a bad idea to be up here. You're not going to get anything done. You're going to take this whole area when you're ready to do an A execute with multiple people, and you want to wait for all their smokes and flashes to wear off anyway. So for that reason, I highly suggest hanging out up here, watching for a push. I really like hanging out up here. It's a very T-sided shot. You can try to come out a little bit like this. Sometimes you can hang out up here. I don't like it because again, the flashes that come over are gonna blind you fully, and you're gonna run around like this, and they're gonna shoot you in the back. So this is pretty good. This one's okay. Hanging out maybe over here so you can duck and hide. Maybe even here. Um, just make sure they can't get into this zone. Um, and again, from here are where you can throw a lot of your smokes, so you can throw all your fakes and stuff. Um, anyway, so the two mid guys are gonna come together, and there are a lot of ways to smoke top mid. So the window smoke is very elusive. I mean, to this day, a lot of people have trouble, especially with the jump throw ban and whatever. It's very difficult to land in there sometimes. So the lazy way to do it is to just smoke the top mid area. So you can look a bunch of those up. But you're gonna smoke off this area so that this opper or scouter or whatever can't really easily see what's going on there. He's gonna have to post up here, which makes him extremely uh, um, whatever you call it, vulnerable to flashes. You can just throw nades at him. You can throw mollies, and I mean, he can kind of spot this crosshair, but the idea is you're helping your teammate get to this side. And from here, now it's tough for the window guy because if he peeks, you can shoot him here, and you have a guy that can peek out here, and you have a guy at the edge of the smoke, and you can have guys spamming him. So it's just generally a bad idea for him to hang out there. And your underpass guy might be throwing nades and stuff. So he's probably gonna back off early on if you throw some sort of top mid smoke that lands here or whatever. Um, and this guy can kind of run up with this guy peeking, make sure he can get here safely. This is a pretty aggressive default. I don't mind it though. I think it's perfectly fine for you to say, you know what, I'm gonna come here every single round. It's not really that big of a deal because then you can control the cat push, the ladder push, and these guys running up here and whatnot. So yeah, these two guys have to work together. You'll figure it out. Say, hey, it's smoked off. I want you to jump over or throw nades. Just kind of do whatever it takes, and you control mid. Uh, you never want to go really past like this point. You just want to stay back here, and you want to maybe take up the chair area, more mid cubby. Or you know, it's acceptable to just hold here and say, you know, I'm gonna hold the mid push or spot here. I don't spotting here is kind of tricky because you can just get off picked very often, so you can just hang out here. Again, you never want to be too up like this, you know. Well, this is okay, I guess, but if they're gonna push mid, they're probably gonna throw a lot of flashes. It's common for CT sometimes when they're pushing mid early, really aggressively, they'll have a guy creep up here and look in the wall, and their teammates over here are, you know, throwing flashes out. Um, so then they just pop out and then, you know, shoot you. So yeah, be aware of that. You can fall back and hang out in this cubby. You can even just hold over here. This is really annoying. You can hold this angle. If you're really conservative, you can hold back here. Just spot it. But anyway, have two guys control mid. Your B guy is pretty much going to run in here straight. And just, you know, with the mid guys, you should be able to spot a guy dropping down. But obviously, if you throw that smoke, it'll hinder you. So just be wary. Hold up here for a bit. It's a very T-sided shot, so you don't really have to worry about getting shot from here. Even if it's an eco, you can feel comfortable going here. Like, they're not going to push like 2 or 3 guys underpass here. It's not very common. Let's maybe send one, just spray him down, and then you can peek up here and try to, you know, get this guy. But regardless, this guy is here to establish B presence, and to make sure that this area is secure, that the CTs can't be hiding right here, or something like right here or something like that. Because when you want to take B mid or late round and you're coming up here and you're lining up smokes, this guy just pops out and mows you guys down. It's really, really unfortunate. So you can do things like run up here and just throw a smoke early and not do anything. Just literally throw that smoke, spam your gun, shoot the van a bit, just to get him paranoid. Spam this guy back, spam the van, or whatever you want to do. Just hang out back here. You can even throw, you know, flashes over just early round just to waste some 1 or 2 nades to get him to molly and smoke and all that. And from there, you can back off. You can come down underpass to help support. And also, every time you peek underpass, just this is general practice in CS, but it's very important to jiggle peek here. I would say, because there's often they could have a guy cubby here with like a swag 7 or something like that, and when you start walking up, you know, he's just gonna try to shoot you, or he'll have an op posted down right here, while if they have mid control for some reason. So again, if your mid guys have mid control, it's not a big deal to just peek, but I generally like to shoulder peek this, spam that, scare this guy, and later on you can come up here and support your mid players, take mid. This is a very scary shot, by the way. So mid-round, get good at jiggle peeking this and flashing this guy. What else? So that's pretty much the T default. The only main smoke that I think is pretty cool is to run up in this ridge, and you count 1, 2, 3, and 3.5, and you throw the smoke, and it'll pretty much be a perfect connector smoke. So that's pretty powerful for when you're the B guy. You have that control, and you're like, hey guys, you know what? Let's try to work up cat, and then you know, you tell your teammates to go up cat, and as you can see, it's pretty. Oh, you know what? I don't know if that was good. It's just not really a one way. You could definitely see this guy. Anyway, CT default, I would say. Again, I'm not going to go over the setups per se, but more of the roles. So, generally speaking, if you're playing 2 guys over at B, you have a van player or halls player, and then a guy going cat. So the van guy generally speaking, he wants to keep his smoke for as long as possible. So you can just chuck that as a cat player, and that'll, you know, kind of stop the initial rush. And what I've seen get right through a lot is every single round he'll just come right here, he'll come straight here and just throw a molly beyond that smoke, and that'll stop, um, you know, anyone from trying to set up a B execute or whatever. So from there, you can just. I don't really like being up here in general. It just feels like a T-sided shot. So I will generally try to jump up here and hang out here and just kind of control B halls. Make sure um, it's not like a B rush. Your cat player is gonna hear the sound cues if they're rushing B. But sometimes if for some reason you feel like they're grouped up B, you just aim at this thing, this corner, and you right click, and you just peek with a flash. And generally they don't even see it coming because the arc is out of view for a while, and they're probably going to be looking up here, so it just smashes down. They're all blind, and then you peek out. Apart from that, it's pretty straightforward. Holding halls, there's not a lot that you don't know. You could hang out in here. This is a pretty, I think Tarek plays this spot a lot or something like that, and he just falls back and you can So yeah, I don't like this spot either. This spot sucks. I feel like you always get spammed through here. A lot of tees will spam this low ledge right here, and you get dinked for like 40 or something. So if you're gonna play close with a swag or something, play really close or at an off angle, and then try to jump around. And if you have a P90, you can get away with this too. So that's generally the Halls player or the B anchor. B anchor can also very commonly just sit right here, and this is a pretty good, not a bad spot at all. Just difficult to check. The guys jumping down will almost never check this first. So if they're spilling out, you can spray down one or two, and then try to survive. Bench. I'll get while I'm here. I'll go over some B spots. I like to hug this bench a bit, like over here, and so when they come out, they're generally not checking. It's kind of an off angle. You can just fall back here. This spot is good too. This spot, and I guess maybe holding here. This is really a crazy spot right here. This is really good for B holds. Even mid round, late round, you see him, you get one or two, and then when he calls, oh, he's sight or whatever, you fall back like this. So this guy's like, oh, he's not here, and then you continue to shoot him, and then you can continue falling back here. So it's like so many fallback options that are really good, easy CT sided shots. And then when they try to cross bench, you can shoot him here. And if you hear him planning, you can just go, quick peek, or you can even get one of the late guys here, dance around. And everyone knows this spot where you just walk up on these logs. And then, yeah, that's extremely common as well. So you can even treat this like a fallback. One, and then you have two, and then you have three, and now you have four. So you really can't screw this up. Please don't. If it's like you have an SMG or something, you think it's a B rush, this is a pretty good spot too. The same principle. You shoot the first guy coming out, fall back a bit, shoot the second guy, come back here, and then shoot these guys jumping out the window. So that's generally how you play B, and you want to delay a lot, so you can learn all these little flashes to bank off into middle of sight and whatever. Just make your own. The cat player, he is generally going to, again, throw that smoke, and you want to support this guy by sound cues, because the Halls guy really needs to rely on you to hear anything. You can say 1 back B, 2 back B. I hear a bunch going underpass. And then you can try to, if your mid guy is opting or something or posted a mid, you generally don't even have to worry about that. He'll call it. You can just run right in here and support this guy, hang out in here. If they molly or nade you, come up here. Ladder is extremely powerful for both CT and T side, so you almost never want to give it up. This is, by the way, in my opinion, pretty dangerous. It's kind of a T side shot in my opinion, a little bit. So be wary of this. And then, if you really need to, you can come down in here for whatever reason. So cat player is pretty simple. You just want to take ladder control. That's your job. If they took mid early and stuff, you can try to do something cheeky, like just throw a flash and then just jump in, while T's are supposedly flashed. But that's up to you. You don't want to waste your smoke, by the way, doing something like this. That was awful. But you don't want to waste a smoke like over here and just to get in here. That's kind of a waste of a smoke in my opinion. So those are your two B guys here, or the two B rolls. The mid opper or the main mid guy is obviously playing in window most commonly. If they're smoking out every round, there's not much you can do. Maybe you can hang out in here all round. I don't really like that. You're kind of useless. Just basically don't do anything. And T's are being thorough. We're gonna nade this out anyway. So if they smoke window, just play from connector or play late. Late over here and wait for it to fade and then do whatever you want. You can. It's very common to sit on this thing. Adren has a video on that, I think. So just watch those videos about mid control. But mid, you almost never want to solo. You almost always want to support. You want to play support with this guy who's peeking up here, crouched, jump, spotting that. Maybe he's up here. I don't really like this spot as a CT, but if you really want, if it's smoked off, maybe you can get away with watching the cross to the box with him. And because you do have to be wary of this underpass guy, so you don't want to just be like doing this right in the open or doing this. It's pretty dangerous. So yeah, your mid guy get support from either this guy, get support from here, or get support from your cat player. So he, mid guy's like, hey, I need a whatever, I need a peek. Can you flash me out? So now I flash. So anyone posted up a window, look, he's blind. He's like, ah. So then this guy has the opportunity to peek out. And as far as A goes, the two golden spots in my book are the CT area in general. and underbalk. These are the golden spots. You know what? Actually, I lied about connector. A lot of times connector, you're kind of on demand. You're on support on demand, so you can kind of hang out here on the stairs. This is extremely common. Watch any pro demo. There's going to be, Crims or whatever. Or Crims recently has started playing CT, but you'll see this area right here, very important, very key. Just spotting what's going on Palace. Looking over here, just generally not taking fights. Like if you're over here and you're like, oh, they're throwing smokes over A, and you just sit right here and try to take some crouch duel. That's a terrible fight. Please don't do that. Even if it's fast A, you can get people as they cross the site from here. You can get people here. You can just stay alive and play A retake. Very common. Anyway, so one main A spot is here at CT. You can play on the box. You can play on the ticket booth. You can play just kind of looking at here. You can play crouched up. You want pistol rounds, very, very common because Glocks almost can never hit you. And I've seen, again, I didn't want to go over setups, but sometimes you just play 2 guys in CT as your A players, and then everything else is just, 3, 4, and 5. So don't be afraid to just sit here and play retake or move up into site as need be. Flash yourself in, etc. Dance around this box. I don't do that flash. I have no idea what I'm doing. You've seen Steel talk about off angles in a video, and you can play over here because it's a spot that they almost never check. They can't see you until they get to this spot, and it's like most people don't stop moving here to pre-fire or check an angle. They're like, oh, okay, this is clear, try box is clear. I'm gonna run to Tetris and jump, or I'm just gonna run Tetris and peek here. So during this motion from here to here, you get a free window to pop some shots off. So it's pretty common. And yeah, again, there are videos you can just watch. Like people will play double box and dance around it, and they'll get a kill, pop flash, and then peek in front of it, and whatnot. But generally speaking, your default early round, no one can really fault you for just being CT. Like no one's ever gonna get mad at you for just being CT, or playing at try box or something like that, early round. Under here, I say, is another really powerful spot because of so many pop flashes you can throw out to bail yourself out. The only problem is that, of course, it's easy. Again, it's easy to deal with from the tees, from a guy just spanking it off here. That was really awful. Or a guy in halls who's, by the way, this guy in smoke can sometimes just eyeball it. So even if he's smoked off Palace, he might just throw that in there. Or what? So anyway, you get the idea. So, but down here is really powerful in general. But yeah, just play CT, play around CT, play long distance angles where you can't. It's harder to get 2 or 3 guys just bum rushing out. So I think that pretty much covers the defaults. Yeah. One thing I forgot, by the way, is your try box or A players should be ready to flash over mid, to help support. So keep in mind there's no skybox here. So as you can see, that explodes route up here. So he will be pretty blind. So it's pretty strong for when these guys need to peek out. They're like, oh, they're taking mid, flash over. And this guy, look, he's completely immune. This connector guy is completely immune, even as far as out here, you can just push up. So that's very powerful. Learn to throw flashes over.